Alright guys, got this Toyota Camry having an unwanted ABS activation. Okay, so the customer complained, I test drove it, I did something on the rear brake, clean and adjust, and we did some little rear work in the back. I needed to install some hardware kit on the opposite side, but all that done, I thought it was the looser brakes, it could be anything. But today the roads are dry, so I noticed every time we hit a bump, the car does activate ABS in slow speed. So there is an issue with the ABS activation. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a test drive. So this is how you would find out. There's two different ways. This is the way with the scan tool, which is pretty expensive because the scan tool is about $4,000 or $5,000. But I do got all 4 wheel speed sensor right there waiting for me to it's gonna show live data. Okay, you see us it's moving already, but the wheel kill needs to be driven. So we have front left, front rear, I'm sorry, front left, front right, rear left, rear right. We're gonna pay more attention to the 2 in the front, and because it seems like it's in the front. Okay, also I'm gonna show you another trick. Okay, there's gonna be 2 with this is with the scan tool, but another one is I'll do a separate video on that one. Is when you don't need a scan tool, just take it out for test drive. So if you're driving the vehicle and ABS activates and your steering, let's say for instance your steering is straight, and as soon as the ABS activates, do not hold the steering. Okay, just slightly let it go, and the car will try to pull to one side. Okay, so let's say if it starts to pull to the left, that means you have an issue on the right side of ABS. This only applies to the front, not to the rears, because rears is a different story. But if it goes that way, it's gonna give you a hint. There's an issue with this side ABS. Then you could open it up, look at the reflector wheel, look at the ABS sensor. It could be a broken cable that touches when you hit a pothole or when the car moves up and down. But anyways, let's take it for a test drive. Okay, so as you can see, all 4 sensors are giving feedback equally, and the graph seems to look good. But let's see when I brake and hit some pothole. Let's see what occurs. Nothing yet. I sped up a little bit. Nothing so far. Alright, we're gonna have to go on another road. I'm gonna continue this video till I figure something out here, because it's been making me go crazy. So we got a pit stop right now. Let me make a right turn here, but let's wait. Okay, we can go now. Gotta be safe. Alright, so I'm gonna continue this video till I figure something out. There's something shows up in that graph. But the brakes are feeling great since we did some work in the back. Anyways, I'll get back to you as soon as we see something immediately. Okay guys, so far I figured nothing out, but I am gonna go do a physical checkup. I'll show you exactly which lines to check, how to check them. Okay, if the wheel speed sensor on the right front comes off, I'm gonna take a look at it, because I know every time I had a small pothole previously it did that. But I came conclusive there's no result here. Okay, I find no abnormality here, and the customer did complain. I did feel it, but that was the previous to before I replaced the brakes in the back. I cleaned and adjusted, and I did the summer service in the back. But anyway, hopefully this takes care of it. But I am still gonna check, and if you need to replace it, sensor, we will if I make a determination there. Right, so let's continue this video in a few moments. Now I have the vehicle up in the air, the wheels off, and what I did was I got me this 3/8 ratchet with extension and a number 10mm socket right there. And I'm gonna show you on the opposite side. All I did was I took off the bolt on the ABS sensor, which was right there. That's this crusty looking bolt right here. But anyways, sometimes the sensor itself can be bad. You always want to observe the sensor, because the sensor, they will tend to crack up. And a lot of times this little stuff, right, you see this all build up, this can be the cause as well. So we're gonna clean this up really good, but you also want to look inside. You see, it's gonna be hard for me to show you with this camera and the light that I have. Inside, we have, you can see a little bit right there. The lighting is not giving a good effect. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this hub and just observe if there's any crack, rust, or broken tooth. Just turn the axle all the way, do a turn all the way, and I see a little bit of corrosion. Okay, that's normal. That's just dirt and stuff, but nothing is cracked up, and this axle is looking in good condition. So I'm gonna turn all the way. It looks pretty good inside for it to be a 2004. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this up really good. I am not gonna change the sensors because I find no fault. It did do some kind of reaction before I took care of the back brakes. But anyways, you can check out that video. They had a lot of dust in them, so if the brakes slip in the back, your tire is gonna act like it slipped. But observe your ABS line here. Sometimes when somebody does a hub or shock, they tend to stretch these. Okay, you want to observe these. But if you get a really bad signal to change the sensor, you take off that number 10, you remove this clips right here. They just pop right open just like that. All right, there you go. This comes right off. To put it back in, you just clip it right back on. And you're gonna take off that number 12. So the ABS line sits under the bracket of this brake line. Then your line has to come up, and you're gonna get a probably new bracket if you buy a good sensor, good quality. If it doesn't, you reuse this. There's a number 10 right there to remove this, but if you don't need to, use a zip tie, and the sensor goes up in here, and it's gonna be hard for me to show a little bit, but it just sits right there, up there. You see it right there, up there? That's the connector. You pop the connector, move the ABS sensor. So let's go on the other side, and what we're gonna do is, so let's take off this number 10. Sometimes I'll be afraid these ABS sensors, they tend to jam up inside the hub, but that wasn't the case with this one. Let me turn off my heat. It's really getting hot up in here. So let's take this off. And this one looks pretty good. A little bit of dirt. I'm gonna clean that up too. So let me put this to the side. I don't want it to rub on the rotor. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna look in there and I'm gonna turn. If you see something suspicious, look, you can come back around. If you're missing a tooth, that's definitely gonna pop up on your scan tool. So far nothing, and I think I already did a 360 here. I found nothing here as well. So they are running pretty good. And I think I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna clean the sensors and I'm gonna put them back. Same thing, to replace this sensor, you're gonna take off this bracket, number 12, follow the line, reuse the bracket if you need to here. If not, if it came with a new one, you remove that number 10, zip tie it if you just need to change the cable, and remove this number 10. I removed this number 10 on the other side to show you guys. You didn't see me do that, but this comes down and the connector is right there. It's a 10-minute job. Just take your time, and thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully this video helps you out a little bit. And but the key is to figure out which sensor is causing the trouble. It could be the relector wheel inside on the axle. Sometimes on American cars it's a whole hub. Nissan's is a whole hub. Nissan is a big problem, and in the back it's probably got a hub. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. By the way, guys, I want to show one more thing. Okay, I was gonna put this ABS sensor back. Make sure the surface, the meeting surface here and the hub is also clean. Don't just think that you're gonna clean the sensor. So use a filer somewhat. Make sure all the rust is, because if the sensor sits uneven, it's probably not gonna pick up the data like it's supposed to. So I'm gonna clean this up really good, blow some air in there, get all the dirt and debris out of there, because you don't want none of that dirt in there either. All right, so I'm gonna finish this out. You're not gonna see once it's done, but make sure you clean it up really good and put this back together. All right, so that's it now.